3 years ago, I got into £80,000 a day, right? And today, I have cleared that debt. And here are 3 things that I did that actually genuinely changed the trajectory for my life. Listen, these things I'm going to tell you are not the easiest things to do. They are far from easy. In fact, a lot of you guys are going to watch this and they're not going to do it. And I fully understand that because it is not for every single person. So let's backtrack. Who am I? My name is Ugo the Eagle, right? As I said, 3 years ago, I got into £80,000 of debt. I made money trading, and I took all that money and I threw it into a crypto investment that I thought was an investment, but it was a scam. That made me spiral. So I then started to borrow money. Took out loads of loans to try and trade and make the money I lost back, but that only just made it worse. And yeah, I woke up one morning and I look at myself and I'm in £80,000 of debt. I then started to think to myself, I either continue to live down this life or I make a decision to make a change. And I decided to make a change. That's the first thing I did. I decided to make a change. All right. I wrote down all my debt from smallest to largest, and I followed the snowball method, which is I paid out minimum payments of every single debt, and I attacked the lowest debt in ferocity. All right. I worked an average of 100 hours a week, which means some days I worked 24 hours of the day. I don't advise people to do it, but I did that. That was the second thing I did. I lived way below my means. I lived so below my means that every single dime of my money went into debt. Apart from feeding and transport, I did not spend on anything else. And guess what? I had a child in the meantime. But the person I had a child with stayed with me throughout that journey. So you could find somebody at your worst and still get something sensible out of that relationship. Those are the 3 things that I did to actually change my mentality to get to the point I am today. And listen, it is not easy, as I said, but it's for the person willing to grind. You don't need to spend, you don't need to be flashy if you get somebody sensible by your corner. Your goal should be focused, driven on getting to the next level. And that's what I did. And hopefully this helps somebody. Peace and love. Let's go.